Welcome back to the channel. We've been talking a lot about new construction, and it's super exciting to buy new construction. You know, right here in the Temecula Valley, there are a lot of homes to choose from. We thought we would go a little bit of a different direction today and talk about the advantages and disadvantages of buying new construction in the Temecula Valley. Welcome back to Temecula Valley Living, and thank you so much for spending this time with us. Please be sure to subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification so you never miss any of this awesome content.
Where do we begin?
I think it's important to start with what we hear a lot of our buyers say when they're looking to buy new homes, right? When they come to us and they say, we want to buy new construction, it's always for the same reasons, basically, right? They want fresh and new.
Yep.
They want to have that sense that nobody lived there before them. They want to have maybe the best warranty they can have. They want new. It's like that smell of a new car. One of the things they say that they want, and this would be in the category of one of the pros of buying new construction, is the modern amenities.
Well, there's a lot of things that are very modern, just the style of the floor plans. You know, they really like what is the latest and greatest, and it has been for probably over 7 to 10 years, open floor plan concept. You're not going to get that in a more mature home neighborhood. Everything's compartmentalized, and you know, you've got your dining all the way over here, family room, and then kitchen's not in the right placement that flows seamlessly into the family room, formal dining. So, I mean, you don't get that.
No, you don't. With the modern homes, you get that modern feel. And right now, that modern feel is a wide open floor plan. Literally, you walk into the house and the kitchen's in the middle of the room. And everything around it is sort of the additional spaces. It's dining room over here, it's connected, and the family room's here, and sometimes even a formal living room, or you know, that
sitting area.
It's all connected. It's one big space. And one thing that you point out a lot is in the modern floor plans, you always make mention of great placement of the TV. And I want to explain that for a second, because some people might watch a walkthrough video that you would do and say, perfect placement of a TV. What does that mean? The builder can choose to put the TV and all the wiring and so forth in a place where you can only see the TV from the family room. But if you strategically lay out the floor plan, then you can actually put a TV in a place where you can see it from the kitchen. You can see it from the living room, from the dining room, from the formal area. You can see the TV from all the living spaces, and you'd be surprised how convenient that is when you're cooking and the family's watching TV and you kind of want to be a part of it, or you're off to the side doing something. Maybe you're sitting at the dining room table and you're paying bills, and the rest of the family is watching TV. It's kind of nice to be checking in on what's going on. It seems silly, but it's nice to have the TV have perfect placement. And that's something that you're going to get with a modern amenity, a modern design.
Right. Well, I can just speak from experience, the one that does most of the cooking and preparing of the food. And if the entire family is, you know, in a different room, I just don't feel part of what's going on.
You feel left out.
Yeah, you feel left out.
Yeah, exactly. What about warranty? You buy a new home, a lot of our clients have said they just want to make sure everything's covered. They're coming from an old house, everything's falling apart. They just want the best warranty.
Right. Well, you get your warranty with the new build for about a year, and then your roof is about a 10-year warranty. If you've got solar on the house, that typically has warranty until the solar's paid off.
Yeah. Another thing that people really want when they're looking to buy a new home as opposed to an older home is they want energy efficiency, not just solar. They want
your windows.
The windows, good one. They want the insulation. They want, you know, all the radiant barrier properties of, you know, the way they line the houses now to be more energy efficient in every way, shape, or form, to protect against heat, to protect against cold.
Better producing AC units. And what about the tankless hot water heaters?
All of that you get with the newer homes. And that means you're going to save a lot of money in utility bills. Energy efficiency is something that you can expect to get when you're buying a new home as opposed to a pre-owned home.
Right. And what about our clients that like to have that customization?
They want to pick their stuff.
They want to pick their stuff. They want to pick their flooring. They want the builder to add plantation shutters, crown molding. A lot of cabinetry does not come with hardware, so they want to add hardware, pendant lighting.
So even though it's a track house, it's still a new home, and there's still quite a bit of customization you can do within those confines of the builder and their rules. But there are a lot of things you can do. And if you're somebody that wants to buy a brand new home, what the mindset of, oh, I want to customize it, I can see why you'd want to go new build. You know, we're working with a lot of buyers who have to have a brand new home. They're not even interested in an older home or a pre-owned home because they just want no maintenance or very low maintenance. It is true that the newer homes will come with intelligent design, and that sometimes means, or oftentimes means, little to no maintenance.
Especially with landscaping.
Absolutely. The yards now that they're putting in, though they're very simple, they are nice, very drought resistant. They're on drip systems, and there's almost no maintenance that needs to be done on those yards. So if you're coming from a home where you've, mow, blow, trim constantly and all of that, and the water bills and all that stuff that go along with it, you're probably feeling like, I just want a new home. Just get me into a new house.
Right.
So if you're a buyer looking at new construction and you're only wanting new construction, then it's probably because you want modern amenities, you want warranty protection, you want energy efficiency, you want to be able to customize the home, you want lower maintenance. So we don't want to try to discourage you from buying a new home, because I think you're onto something there, especially if you're planning on coming into the Temecula Valley. That's a very good idea. But let's talk about a few of the cons. One thing you have to recognize is that if you're going to be committed to buying a new home, then you are going to feel the brunt of those initial higher costs, right?
Correct.
You're going to have some higher taxes. You're going to have to spend money on landscaping. You're going to have to do a lot of things to sort of get that home up to conforming with the rest of the neighborhood.
Right.
And it's not free.
Nope. And the very first thing you want to do is make sure you have a budget to get blinds put in. Here you are moving in and you just feel like the whole world can see you because there's no blinds. So they don't come with blinds.
Yeah. Talk about moving into a fishbowl. Brand new homes don't come with blinds. And so it's a real shock for people. I mean, you can go to Home Depot and for very cheap, you can throw up some temporary window coverings. But let's face it, you bought a brand new home because you want it to be fresh and new and nice, and that's just not nice. The other con to buying into a brand new community, new construction, the landscaping in the community and within your neighbors is just brand new. So you're not going to get that feeling of driving down the street and seeing those tree-lined streets. You're not going to be able to put a tree house in any tree anytime soon. That's for sure. So there is that look and feel of a brand new community that's a bit sterile.
Right.
It's not grown. All of the gaps aren't filled in with beautiful vegetation and trees and brush. And that's something that kind of can wear on you after a while. You get that brand new home and it feels really nice and you're super excited about it. And you love everything that's inside your home, and the way you've decorated your yards and landscaped everything looks great and feels great. But as soon as you leave the driveway and you kind of look around and see, wow, I mean, we got 6-foot trees and we just left a community that had 60-foot trees. It can literally take 20 years for a brand new community to start to feel mature.
And what about you getting close to the timeline to where you're going to be signing loan docs and you're excited for when you're asking when are we going to get the keys to the house? And then there's those delays. Massive delays all of a sudden happen. County is backed up, the city's backed up, the gas meter's not in, and you've already moved out of your house because you're making a move up purchase and or move down purchase. And you're ready to move in and you've called the moving company and electricity. You've already scheduled for all those utilities to already come on. You get that terrible phone call and email. We have a 15, could potentially be a 30-day delay. How often do we end up putting some of our clients in Airbnb because they just have nowhere to go, and you cannot speed that process up. So you have to be prepared for those.
That is a huge con of buying a brand new home. The potential for delays in getting your keys is much more real than buying pre-owned.
That's right.
So you have to be ready for that.
You have to have a backup plan.
Something that my parents used to tell me a lot is they loved the character of the older communities. And so when they were looking for a home, it really bugged them that all the houses kind of looked the same, the cookie cutter style of the new builders. Even if you go into a very, very nice new build community, there's a certain consistency and continuity that flows from home to home. They might have 4 or 5 different models and then reverses of those models. So it might look like there's 10 different style homes in the community, but really that's not a lot of diversity. Therefore, I think one of the big cons of buying in new construction communities is the limited character that you see. You know, when you're in an older community and it's been around for 50, 60, sometimes 100 years, not only do you have the eclecticness of that time era of home building, but you have people that have done additions and you've had a redesigning of the footprint of the home and everything starts to look really different. You've got a lot of mature trees. You've got a lot of character. If that's something that you really like, you have to understand that one of the cons of buying new construction is that your home is going to look as though it has limited character.
Right. And with the new build, I think is a con is the taxes are much higher. You don't have all the infrastructure that you need within the community, fire stations, parks. The recreation center is not even going to be completed for another 2 years. And here you are buying in a community center that has a gym, has your HOA parks and pools. And you come to find out it's going to be completed closer to the end of all the phases of the development.
Here's a con that we don't hear people talk about a lot, and that is when you do buy a home in a brand new community, it's distracting for a long time. I mean, what if you bought into the first phase and you're just happy homemaker doing your thing, and every morning at 7 a.m. you hear the beeping of the cement trucks backing up, and you hear the jackhammers, and you hear all the construction crew playing their rock and roll music out of their boom boxes and stuff like that. There's a lot of noise that happens in new construction areas. How about this? How about constantly getting nails in your tires because construction's going all around you and you're constantly getting flats?
And a lot of dirt and debris because there's just so much movement happening.
You have to understand that when you buy a new home in new construction, that until it's completed, it's going to be a little bit noisy.
Another con is the uncertainty of resale. It's very important to think about what is your resale going to be because the builder is picking their comparable home sales within the brand new community. So within each phase, there's a slight increase in the pricing, and it's going to take some time depending on the right improvements that you put in that property. It could take at least 18 months to 3 years to see the increase in value.
That is a real con. If the builder is choosing their own sales as the comparables, sometimes that can outpace what's really going on outside of that community with pre-owned sales. Another con to quickly mention is, you know, when you're buying a brand new car and it's the first model that's ever been out, sometimes you are subject to a lot of recalls and issues because it really doesn't have a track record. Well, when you're buying a brand new home, sometimes there's little bugs that haven't been worked out. And now because you're the first owner, you got to kind of work them out.
I think another con is walking into the models, right? So you're walking into the models and you're oohing and on, you're really excited of all the interior improvements. And you have no idea that everything that you're seeing is an extra. They're going to tour you through a home that has no interior improvements, and you see what the base model is. It's a shock. Not only is it a sticker price shock of how much all those improvements cost, it's also, you kind of lose that super excited, loving feeling of what you walked into. They should just show it bare bones.
Lennar has an EI program where they say everything's included except for this list of things that aren't included, but for the most part, a lot of it is. But that's a very good point, sweetheart. One of the cons of buying a brand new home is that you don't really know what you're going to get while you're shopping. When you are shopping for a pre-owned home and you walk into that pre-owned home, you know exactly what you're going to get. With a new build, you walk into the model and it looks spectacular, you're not really sure for what you're going to get. Are you really going to get that? Well, you will, but it's probably going to be an extra $125,000 because of all the upgrades they've baked into that model.
Another con is not walking into that new builder with your agent. Because if you walk into the new build without your agent and you're just looking, you're on, they're recording you, they're taking your name, you say, oh, I didn't give my name. The sales reps in there, they remember you, and therefore you can't have any representation. And that to me feels terrible, right? Everything that the new builder representative says is what goes. So if you don't walk in with your own agent that can ask the right questions, look into the contract a little bit more in detail, help you see all the things that come with or without, and helping you feel comfortable from start to finish. Otherwise, time and time again, we just hear our clients mention that it was just a horrible experience because you walk in, they take your name, they take your check, and they send you a contract to overview and do a DocuSign, and you don't even know what just happened. So you're not aware of every intricate detail. That's very, very important. You need buyer protection.
Absolutely. If you walk into a new builder and you start looking at homes without bringing your realtor, you're on your own, unfortunately.
The first time you walk through the door and you don't bring that agent that helps sign you in, then that's where it gets to be like buyer beware. And then if you want to go back, you can go back 100 times. I always tell our clients all the time, go back 100 times, take your photos, do your video, take your measurements, but you have to promise me you're not walking in, not even looking. You can drive through the neighborhoods, get a good feel.
How much does that cost to have you represent a buyer on a new build? How much does that cost the buyer?
Well, 23 years of experience, it should cost a lot, right? But it costs zero.
Did you know that? You can have your agent represent you at a new build and it's going to cost you $0. If there's any money to be made at all for your agent, it's going to come from the new builder. So you have nothing to worry about. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. I want to add one more thing, and it's something that my wife always encourages buyers to do, and that is to research the builder, because sometimes the builder has class action lawsuits. You don't want that to trickle down into bad construction on your home.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We truly hope you found it valuable. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. And in the meantime, please like and subscribe and push those buttons and keep tracking with us.